Hi. Let's talk about differences in perspective. A really big game changer for me, and I'm not claiming to be perfect at it, but it is getting easier, is not needing anyone else to be wrong in order for me to be right. People get to have their own unique perspectives. And I've noticed that I'm a lot happier when I allow other people to simply think what they want to think and feel what they want to feel. And obviously, sometimes things are fact-based. Like in math, most of us generally agree that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Although I'm sure there's some creative way you could even argue that if you really wanted to, if you're really committed to arguing. But even then, if somebody is completely convinced that 2 plus 2 equals 3, I get to decide if it's worth my time and energy trying to correct their perspective or understanding, and often it's not. And especially when it comes to other people's feelings and beliefs, we're all coming from different vantage points with different backgrounds, different DNA, different educations, unique personalities. So even if we're staring at the exact same thing at the exact same time, we may all see something different, and yet no one is wrong. So a question we can ask ourselves is, how do I handle it when someone sees something differently than myself and I feel misunderstood? What is a healthy, mature way to handle that? And I think for me, I'm starting to realize that it's best if I just accept the differences in perspective and not even need to be right or wrong. And I can validate my own feelings without invalidating theirs. And you're not bad just because someone doesn't agree with you, and they're not bad for disagreeing with you either. There's generally not really even a need to disagree or argue about someone else's subjective perspective or belief, as long as it's not infringing on your human rights. It's usually a waste of energy trying to get someone to see anything your way. And unless they're genuinely curious and they're asking you sincere questions and are committed to understanding you, they may not even be open to changing their mind based on anything you have to say, no matter how logical and rational your argument is. They may just be interested in changing yours and not really wanting to have a conversation, because so many people want to be understood and so few want to truly understand. Because a lot of people would rather be right than kind. We see this all the time on social media. And in a case like that, you get to decide where your own personal boundary is and if you're even willing to have the discussion. Here are some sentences that I've used to validate my own feelings without telling someone else they're wrong. Here's one. I understand you see it that way, and that's your valid perspective. I see it this way. Or, you may be right. I'm going to give the topic some more thought. I'm still processing how I feel about it. That way, I'm still validating that I feel how I feel, but I'm not saying they're wrong. And if I feel like, in spite of my best efforts, the other party truly isn't interested or able to have any kind of healthy back and forth conversation because they're just too triggered by the topic, or they're just really they're not interested in understanding me at all. They're just criticizing or trying to make themselves feel better by making others feel small, then I just find a way to exit the conversation. And maybe after we're both feeling calm, we can resume the conversation or not. You don't really owe that to anyone, because your time and energy is very precious and you use it wisely. We can, of course, learn a lot from each other through civil discourse and earnest conversations. But it's also okay to say, I'm not open to discussing this right now. There's a lot of wisdom to glean from the old question of, would you rather be right or happy? Because sometimes you do have to choose between the two. I vote choose happy. Healthy communication is a really big topic, and I know we can't cover all the nuances right now, and we'll certainly talk more about how to listen and be heard in future episodes. I'm Beck Sato. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you soon. Love you.